Good morning, Roland.
Good morning. How are you?
I have this cold that won't just go away, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from that, yours is chronic. The weather is also not good for you.
Yeah, it's true.
I had it about
I need some
a week
recommendations.
Or two,
I want to do some
Do you know what is Arosto?
Nah, I have
you
no
can take
idea.
Arosto. If you...
What is that?
Arosto. Or you can take some Shocker. Shocker is always...
What is Shocker?
So... okay, can we do the newspapers?
Yeah, if I mean, it says something, is it supposed to be bad?
Arosto. Arosto.
Where would I go? Like, who would understand that?
Arosto.
Yeah.
Those who understand. If you know, you know.
So
how do they say it?
Which ghetto should I go to? That's what I mean.
Oh, Nima is around here. Newtown. Mamu Biko to Babi. Avenoy. Hey, Avenoy. Yes.
Yeah? Okay, it's a Thursday. If you missed the news, don't worry. We're just about doing the newspapers. I have the Daily Graphic, the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Statesman, the Heritage, the Daily Heritage, the Daily Dispatch, as well the Daily Guide, and the Business Finder. So straight away, let's start shooting. The Daily Graphic newspaper front page is our smiley president, Akufo-Addo. In a tete-a-tete, according to the paper, with Miss Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. It says, we're developing comprehensive health package. That's our president. Other people looking on the front page of the paper. There you go. Also, NAT gives November ultimatum for payment of arrears. Speaker calls for double-track court system. Work hard. It will reduce poverty. President charges world leaders. Value for money guidelines in the offing, according to the senior minister. Center spread details of the president's comments. President Akufo-Addo has said Ghana is developing a comprehensive primary health care package for its citizens. The package, he explained, would lead to better health outcomes, lower cost of health care, and healthier families and communities. The president said this at the launch of a global action plan for healthy lives and well-being for all on the sidelines of the 74th session of the UN General Assembly in New York last Tuesday. All right, so president and some participants seated there. Also, World Pharmacy Day launched. This year's World Pharmacy Day has been launched with an appeal to the government to expand the list of medicines that can be produced locally as part of measures to increase access to drugs and ease the pressure on the city. Let's stay with the center spread. There's another story. Maritime Authority to implement gender-responsive policies. That's in the center spread of the paper. Just reminds me of an event that I went yesterday, organized by the Ghana Employers Association. Is a female, just a specific program targeted at female in leadership positions to get them to occupy the positions of CEOs and be visible also in the boardroom. So, there are lots of females in the country. But
to complement what they're doing and what you went to do yesterday, I work with some of the most intelligent female managers, and it's always been my belief that they are better organized. They also give room for creativity to manifest and ultimately impact other people within a setup, a working team. And it's something that we need to encourage. Yeah. Because women, even from what they do at the home, not necessarily the cooking and anything, but how they organize the children. And if you see how the children tend to turn out well with women more than the men, you get to find out if women found themselves in the boardroom, in the corporate structure, people's talent and creativity will be better harnessed or maximized. Yeah, that's I agree with you. It's a personal view. I met some amazing women, great women at the gathering yesterday. So it's called the Future Female Program, and it's being organized by the Ghana Employers Association, of which many organizations are part of, by the way. And there was the special guest was the CEO of Standard Chartered Bank, Mansa Nete, and amazing tips she gave. So going forward, tomorrow, God willing, here on the AM show, I want to play it back. I mean, these are tips for women. She just said directly at women. And she's gone through the mill. She's worked in the bank for more than 20 years.
She's been at Stancha since 1998
Yeah,
or so.
yeah.
So she's gone through different managerial positions, and now
Exactly.
she's the CEO.
Exactly.
So tips, and I'm going to share it tomorrow, Friday. Either we do it tomorrow or Monday.
It's very unfortunate we live in a very patriarchal society, especially now in Africa.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at many of, for example, with the way my temperament and character, I get away with murder with women managers all the time.
Thank you, Mike. So you know it.
Because they give me a lot of room to
you know
my
it.
potential.
Okay, let's do the back page of the Daily Graphic. I'm glad that you know it. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Track damages at Sherman overpass. Very disturbing. The structural integrity of the overpass linking Sherman to Tema has been compromised by the damage caused to one of the 12 beams beneath the bridge by an articulated truck that was transporting a steam boiler, the Ghana Highway Authority has said. How often don't they breach this load limits that they give? That if you have a certain height, you shouldn't use
4.8.
Do they listen?
And yesterday, when I was coming to work, I saw this, and then when I left in the evening or in the night,
was still there.
It was still
so
there.
this is going to cut. So this is what Accra Tema.
Yes, this one is the Tema Accra.
If you're coming from Tema to Accra,
yeah.
So those who come back
just
from
after
work,
the roundabout that we tend to do.
So this is the evening rush. That's when you feel the
morning and evening.
Morning and evening,
because morning when people are coming to Accra, and evening when they've worked from the Tema industrial enclave and they're also coming to Accra.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
So both sides. Yeah, I don't know how we plan our cities.
Well,
but
good news.
To find traffic all the time.
Traffic everywhere. Well, good news just beneath this not so good news story. It says Odo dredging progresses. Odo dredging progresses to mitigate the recurrent flooding in parts of Accra. Is progressing steadily. But you know how we can check this, right? We just need a little rain, then we'll know. All right, the Ghanaian Times newspaper, front page of the Ghanaian Times at the 74th UN General Assembly 2019. Let's focus on poverty eradication. President urges world leaders. Also, 4 persons jailed 20 years for armed robbery. Residents demo over murder of 4 tardy girls. Auditor General calls for positive change in public sector. CSO's platform rallies support for implementation of SDGs. Let's pay attention to the center spread of the paper. Oh, here we go. All right. Government committed to developing comprehensive primary health care package, according to the president. The same story, where it's in the Daily Graphic newspaper, and details of what's on the front page, essentially in the center spread. So let's look at what's on the back page. World Teachers Day, NATS Week celebrations launched. Also, ECG to diversify business operations to include provision of telecom services. All right, okay, Roland, take over.
All right, so let me do the daily guide. I have that paper just in front of me. On the front page, it says, Alajo bomb doctor fights NDC MPP on Facebook. And Moavi, if you get to read the story, I'll say a word or two if we have the time on the subject. Poverty degrades humanity. That's front page of the daily guide. That's down. Let's go down. Poverty degrades humanity. Nana tells world leaders, and there's an inserted picture of him interacting with Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, at the UN summit on SDGs. And the president, I watched his speech yesterday before the assembly, great speech talking about efforts to improve the environment, reduce poverty, and improve education using technology in all these. Very good one. And it looks like what is manifesting at home is a reflection of what he said at the UN summit. Now
what exactly do you mean by that?
We have technology being used at the heart of me. Yeah, we want it faster and rapid than it is now, but it looks like we're using technology to do the right thing, but we need to do it at a pace that will be commensurate to what's happening around the world. Pension for cocoa farmers coming, Baumia. Physician corrects perception on peptic ulcer. Peptic ulcer. Let's go to the center spread. It's a news one pull out always of the daily guide. And this one says that Miki Osebeko, Mama V's friend, promises naked demonstration over foreign content on local television channels. I think I agree with him. Promises
naked demo.
Yes. So
over foreign content.
It means they will strip. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing. I can imagine Mama V and
Roland,
strip naked.
We're not in the paper. Who is saying that?
All right.
Why is he saying it?
I'm sorry.
That's what the story is.
It's just local.
Stay focused.
TV content showing too much foreign.
Stay focused.
Items. Okay.
We're Joy News.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Joy News. Local TV content.
I said we're Joy News. Go on.
Okay. Stone Boy parts ways with Kelvin Boy, and David Duncan grabs nomination for Afrima. Afrima is Afrima.
It's an acronym for, check it. It will be there in the story.
Okay. Is there an African Music Award?
No, movies.
African Music Magazine Awards 2019.
Is it? Hey, Roland.
I think we also have an Afrima for.
Okay, then I'm confused. Which one is this?
Yeah, this one, African Music.
Because the one I know
magazine.
is movies.
This one, US.
Oh, okay. Boy.
Okay, so those are the stories we have. Back page, election committee vets candidates today. Benedict also has been bringing to us all we need to know about the candidate, and Ket is also captured on the back page of the Daily Guide, saying he's promising transparency. He looks to have added a touch of class, modern technology, and great campaigning to his election bid.
So that's Ket's.
Yeah.
All right. There was another one. Amponsa, who appeared on Pulse yesterday. Yeah. So this is turning out, you know, just what Benedict said, that this is like a national campaign.
Exactly.
The feeling is that it's
they
national.
Have a concise, captured manifesto.
Yeah. When only 120 people will be voting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Great way to target that 120 delegation or delegates. We have Bayern threatening national team boycott and man arrested for punching horse.
For punching what?
A horse.
Horse.
All right.
As in Ponko.
Arrested for punching horse. Yes. Suspicion of cruelty. Yes. During crowd disturbances before and after.
This is not in Ghana.
No. At Portsmouth. That will be in England. Yeah. Now let's go to the Daily Dispatch. Daily Dispatch has on the front page illegal possession of arms and explosives. They plan to attack Defense Ministry. 2 more soldiers in the process arrested. Dr. Dihia passes on. We're told that he's a grandson of Nana Tibu Dako. Okay. And then we have Dr. Obu's advice, a healthy penis equals a healthy heart. And EIU on Ghana and West Africa, that's Economic Intelligence Unit. And this one, decided to review it. No, we don't review often, but the Daily Heritage says, GES new syllabus haunts teachers of private schools. And one Mr. Ejay Kwating Amening, original training organizer, encouraging private schools to orient or train their teachers on the new academic calendar or syllabus that we have. All right. It's on the front page. When
school is already in session, we're talking about training of teachers. All right, let's do the Business Finder newspaper. Front page of the Business Finder. You're through?
Yeah, I am through.
All right, here we go with the Business Finder. 84% not on any pension scheme. Local economy endangered. Is a fear being expressed by the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, the NPRA. So according to this story, the development paints a very gloomy picture for the Ghanaian working force. Poverty and other old age, as well as retirement challenges ahead of the Ghanaian worker within the coming years could be insurmountable if not addressed. And this was said by the Chief Executive Officer of the NPRA, Mr. Hayford Atakrofi. And it continues on page 2, the Business Finder. You can check it out. So 84% are not on any pension scheme. So when they retire, what happens to them? How do they survive? 84 is such a huge number, not on any pension scheme. It will be good to interrogate this and find out how people are planning for retirement, really. That's the conversation. How are you planning your retirement? Also, enforce rules on building permits. Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire consider joint thermal plans. But even the question of those who are on some kind of scheme, how is their life on retirement? You know,
and the main scheme we have is SNITs.
Is it one that encourages people? People sit back and they say, oh, he's worked so hard. He worked for so many years.
And this is the fruit of his labor.
And this is exactly. So does that encourage people to want to join the scheme?
That's a problem.
You know, if we had a way, if we all had the option today to get out of SNITs, how many would raise their hands? Yeah. So, you know, this is a conversation that we can have someday. There's also the market summary on the front page of the Business Finance.
We'll have it as quickly as possible, maybe within the next week.
Okay, sure. The Daily Statesman newspaper, NDC will set Ghana back once UER's Ayamba. Poverty degrades us all, Ekufuado tells UN. Alajo bomb makers targeted Ministry of Defense. Dr. Entry Danso says troublemakers don't need armories. There's also another story. He was on PM Express. Yeah. So this story is on page 2, and it's interesting. Well, let me read a bit that they targeted the Ministry of Defense. It has emerged, and this is a news desk reports, the Daily Statesman. It has reporting that it's emerged that apart from targeting the office of the president for a possible armed attack, Dr. Frederick Yao Makpam, the medical doctor arrested on Friday with 2 other men in connection with alleged production of explosive devices and other dangerous weapons, had targeted the premises of the Ministry of Defense. The intelligence we gathered at a point indicated that these young men wanted to attack the Defense Ministry. Major Derek Odro, Deputy Minister of Defense, said yesterday in a radio interview. So this is attributed to the Deputy Defense Minister, confirming that some military officers have been placed in custody in connection with the activities of the 3 accused. He said the military high command is yet to ascertain the precise roles the officers played in the whole plot. And I just wonder, don't we want this to play out in court like everybody is saying? You know, if there are conversations around it, it would fuel the speculation and people's interpretation and the analysis still going on.
I agree.
Once he's put this out, we would analyze it.
And I have to say, I grew up in the barracks, and there were times that where there were supposed suspicions at the time. It was within the PNDC era, and some friends of my dad's were picked up, but ultimately they were released and they came back to continue service. So that is why your caution is important.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
we have so-called heads of ministries or deputy heads of ministries who are coming out to make these utterances, and ultimately they tend to influence public opinion.
Absolutely.
And we haven't gone through the case in court itself, because we claim we're a country of rule of law, etc. So let's I believe, because of how sensitive this is, let's look, because at the end of the day you go through and you see that these army officers, so-called, maybe one day somebody will leak their names and you don't find them guilty. What have you done to them? And also that leaves a certain negative mark. You don't know how they will feel, how they will react, etc. and all this. And that I will link sharply to, if I can.
Yes, please
to the story in the Daily Guide, which seems to be that the protagonist in all this, Dr. Yao Makpam, apparently had a Facebook page and made utterances and had this pressure group. Well, it's a virtual pressure group, Take Action Ghana tag. And they monitored his comments, etc. And I'm thinking, over a period from even the Mahama administration up to now, if you monitor comments of many people, then you say that everybody wants to do something treasonable towards the state. Do you understand? Because, for example, they are saying that he said, one of his posts states, "These 2 parties are killing Ghana slowly. I pray the youth of Ghana will rise against these 2 wolves," etc. A+ does that all the time. A number of people, whether they're journalists, ministers, etc., they make some of these utterances on Facebook. But that is the times that we are in. And
but you see, that's the thing. If somebody is building a case against you, and they want their case to be strong, then they'll go back and fish out a lot of information.
I do understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you look at all these. So it's like maybe if somebody wants to commit or has committed suicide and you want to make a trail, they also tend to leave some of these. And yeah, it's true.
Once you're arrested, you know, they would go into your life.
Yeah, true.
So definitely. But
where you even bought both the last minute, go take a look at it.
Yeah.
It's all important.
But I just wish that just as it's been said, this will play out in the courtroom, but apparently it's not. So we're going to analyze, particularly because this information is coming from a deputy defense minister who's making the disclosure also that the defense ministry apparently was targeted. We've got a little time to do myjoyonline.com. Do we or we don't? Do we have to go to Benedict right away? Okay. Apparently not. We have to go to Benedict. Benedict, welcome to the show. Roland was talking about Kets. He launched his manifesto?
Yes, he did. So that was 3 days ago here
Okay.
in Accra. Yeah, and we expect the other aspirants to also, launch their manifestos. Wilfred Osekweku has mentioned.
Are they going to do it as publicly as Kets did?
Exactly.
Okay.
Wilfred Osekweku is going to do his, God willing, next week. That will be at Alisa Hotel. I understand George Fiye is traveling to Sunyani. That's where he's going to launch his manifesto. Fred Papa will also
Is that where that's where Doma is?
Yeah, that's where Doma is.
Okay, it's a very significant place apparently.
Because of the number of clubs there. So it's just like a general election where in the Ashanti region is a stronghold for the NPP, and when you go to the Volta region, it's a stronghold for the NDC. So George has the fans at that place. That's the belief. You understand? Because he has never gone into any GFA presidential elections before, so that's the belief that he's got the fans at that side of
if
town.
If you say
but
fans, what do you mean? You mean supporters?
He's got the supporters, yes. And also, the vetting committee will start sitting today. They're going to go vet the aspirants.
Is it public?
Yesterday.
It's going to be public?
No, it's not going to be public.
Okay.
Yesterday, I understand that out of the 52 aspirants for both the presidential and that of the executive council, some had issues with their forms. So they were given, today is Thursday, so they've been given 4 p.m. today to rectify and check all the requirements on the form before they can go through. We also have other stories. Manchester United yesterday were in action. They nearly
Please, I beg. What
played
is
against
nearly?
lower side.
It's either you win or you lose. Did we win or not?
The nearly, as I used Mamavi's words, faffed it.
Did we win or not?
Yeah, you won on penalties.
That's
you
it.
won on penalties, but not
Doesn't
in
matter how
regulation
you
time.
won it.
Liverpool
No,
through to the next one. I'm talking about the EFL Cup. Other matches were played. Real Madrid, they preserved the unbeaten run. Inter Milan doing something amazing this season.
Okay, so Benedict, details of these and more coming up in sports.